It's a good evening. The Kings are running away. They scored 41 in the second and 40 in the third, and they are cruising right now. They will win this game, and they will go to 17 and 13. Not officially the post-game show yet because there are still 4 minutes left, but I'll tell you, after a slow start to this game when it was 26-25, the Lakers had the lead after one. I mean, the Kings just steamrolled them in the second quarter, outscoring the Lakers 41-32, and then in the third, 40-28. So we welcome you. We'll get a lot more people here as soon as this game goes final, 124-106. I look at the box. Sabonis is this guy freaking Dennis Rodman or what? 21 rebounds, 10 assists, 13 points, another triple-double for Sabonis. Fox with 22, 8 of 9 from the line. I'm trying to look at an area that I'm not happy with. I can't. 52% from the floor, 75% free throw shooting. We talk about the rebounding. Well, that hasn't been an issue tonight. The Kings are plus 10 in that department. So, there's a lot to like in this game. There's a lot to like. All right. And you're right. They did do well in the third quarter. 40-28. So there's a lot to like. All right. We'll move along here. Again, this game's lingering on. It's a longer game than usual. So we'll stay with you. But I got to tell you, how good is Sabonis, right? What are you doing so early in the middle of watching a game? Hey, Donald, do you want to do the freaking show or what? You want to do the show? You want to come over and do the show? I'll let you do the show. How's that sound? You're with me, right, Donald? I'll tell you why I'm on. Because I got people like you that are like, you know what? This game's over. Let me go listen to what Grant has to say. That's why. Unbelievable. I'm doing well. Hey, thank you for the love on this holiday season. Let me ask you a question. How are you? How are you doing? Unlike Donald, who wants to know what I'm doing on YouTube in the middle of the game. Donald doesn't understand that the game is over. All right? He doesn't understand that. Pretty easy. The game's over. All right? The Kings are up 16 points. That's what I'm doing. All right? That's what I am doing. No contest tonight. 126-110. All right, we'll bring Ryan in Sacktown here, and we'll get his thoughts on this game. Hey, Donald, are you okay if I bring Ryan in because the game's still going on? Is that okay with you, or am I breaking your rules of, not allowed to talk while the game is actually going on? Ryan, is that okay with you, buddy? I don't want to interrupt and ruin your holiday by bringing you on with 3 minutes left to go in a blowout win.
Well, Grant, I just don't want to be in trouble with Donald. So, Donald, let's be bad. We'll keep it going.
Oh my God!
How you doing, bud?
You know what? I'm doing good. It's always good when you can see the Lakers getting their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Because they always, for years and years and years and years and years, they've owned Sacramento. So whenever you can beat the Lakers, it's a good thing.
Always a great thing. Always good to quiet down those LeBron and Lakers fans that try to fill Golden One. But overwhelming victory tonight. Hopefully this sets the stage for the remainder of the homestand.
Hey, Vinny, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Vinny.
Nothing better than the Kings beating LA on my B-Day. Good for you, Vinny. Happy birthday, buddy. Again, the Kings are cruising over the LA. What's that, bud?
Lakers, too.
Yeah. Perfect, right?
Oh, I said Absolutely. And against the Lakers, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Did De'Aaron Fox just get ejected from the game? I missed that. Thank you, Pam. Hey, let me ask you something, Ryan.
I missed that too. Yeah.
You are going to see a team go to 17 and 13, and you were waiting to see how they would respond after getting beat by a team that had the worst record in the NBA. Were you satisfied with what you saw tonight?
Yeah, I was satisfied. There's always areas to improve, but coming off the way that they played, it just reminded me of what I've kind of thought all season. The Kings are going to have to play the Kings each night. And if they play well, they're going to be competitive. And they played very well tonight. And they brought it against a bad team. And that's what they needed to do. Like you said, 2 games.
All right. I don't know what Fox is ejected for. It could be language directed at the official. Everything does not. The one thing I've learned in covering the NBA you may be watching a game and go, gee, that player did not deserve to get ejected. And then you hear from the officials after the game when there's a pool reporter that interviews them and they tell you exactly why. So don't jump to conclusions just yet. Okay. Don't jump to conclusions just yet. It may be unjustified. It may be a mistake, but the reality is you don't really know what's going on. Hey, Michigan, the game's over. Don't worry about it. All right. You think the Lakers are going to go on a 16-0 run with 3 minutes left? So Fox with 3:09 left in the game has just been ejected. And Fox was upset.
Guess he got a late
because according to this, he was fouled and the refs missed the call.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what, Grant? I don't mind it.
I don't either.
They're up.
I don't either.
It's showing fire that he cares. The bigger question is, why is he in the game right now?
Well, you could make that point too. You could say that. Why is he in the game? I don't know. But what I do know is the Kings are going to go to 17-13. Dallas beat Minnesota tonight. How about the Warriors getting destroyed? You know that the Nets scored 91 points in the first half? I
did not.
Yeah.
What is going on in Golden State?
They got no one playing. They got no Curry. I mean, without Steph Curry, the Warriors are just they're not even an average team. They're not even an average team. They're not.
Yeah, they've been off all season. I'm starting to think, even if they get a ticket to the dance, if they're going to be that big of a threat.
I'll tell you, if they're healthy, you don't want to play them. If they have Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, and Green, and everyone else, you don't want to play that team.
But they don't seem to send that same shiver down your spine that they sent
right now.
The past couple of years. Yeah.
All right. 126-113, 3 minutes left. Donald says, don't be so sure, Grant. The game's not over yet. The game's over. All right. Don't worry about it. The game's over.
It's done, Donald.
If the game's not over, we're going to have the most pissed off people in the history of post-game shows in about 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay. And I'll be one of them and you'll be the second. Okay. Could you imagine? I mean, there's just no way.
Well, crazier things have happened, but not tonight. It's not going to happen.
All right. So again, 126-113 with 2:40 left. And next on the schedule will be Friday and the Washington Wizards, who got off the snide last night and ended a 10-game losing streak against Phoenix. And then they play tomorrow. Washington does in Salt Lake City against the Jazz. So the Kings will get them on a second of a back-to-back.
Very good. Well, 3 and 4 then, basically. So, they'll see a Wizards team coming in with a little bit of confidence. Again, the Kings just need to play their game. If they come in and play their game, they're going to be just fine, likely. So,
Anita's
but like
right.
we said,
I'm sorry, Anita's right. You don't want to play a healthy Warriors team in the first round. She's 100% correct. I wouldn't pick the Kings to beat the Warriors in a playoff series if they're healthy. Not at all. I wouldn't pick I don't know if I'd pick any team in the West to beat the Warriors if they're healthy when the playoffs start, assuming they get in, which, again, that I don't know if they are going to get in. I don't think they're going to be a top 10 team because with Curry out for a couple of weeks, this team with Curry was not winning on the road. Now, how are they going to win on the road? Without Curry, they're getting embarrassed. They're getting embarrassed.
Yeah. A healthy Warriors team, you're right, Anita, you do not want to see, but they haven't been healthy all year. They've been missing pieces the entire year.
So 132-113 with 2 minutes left. The game is over, Donald. I told you that. All right. LeBron with 31, Sabonis with a triple-double, 13, 21, and 12 in 37 minutes of work. Fox with 22, 6 assists. The bench did their job. They all got into the act. So, again, 17-13 once this game is official. And they should go to 18-13, and then you got 2 games with Denver and then a game against Utah. So next week's going to be a hell of a week. It's going to be a heck of a week.
Yeah, it is going to be a full week for him. Those 2 Denver games, split like you said. I think I would take that. That is a tough matchup for.
Yeah, you would definitely take a split. I don't think there's any question, especially if you lose the first game.
No doubt.
I mean, then the pressure's on. You don't want to lose back-to-back home games. So, and again, Jerry and I talk about this, and you and I have talked about this. As long as you do not have Sabonis get hurt, I think you're going to be fine. All right. I really do. And I'm not saying that you can live without Fox, but you could at least make it work. Without Sabonis, I don't think you can make it work.
It would be very difficult. I can't think of another guy on the roster right now that could step in and play that same role that Sabonis is playing.
I guess we should also talk about Keegan Murray tonight, 23 points. He had 7 of 17. I don't like him taking so many threes, but when he makes 50% of them, I can't argue. He took 12 threes in this game and made 6 of them.
Yeah, he shot the ball well. Most of them were very good looks, so that's positive. Wasn't forcing the ball. The only thing would be the rebounding, right? We talked about that. I think he had 3 rebounds the last time I checked tonight. It may be a coaching thing, Grant, though, because he's getting sent back mostly. He's not going and crashing the boards, so who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, very promising. I mean, this game shows exactly what the Hornets game didn't show. They shot their free throws well. They got the bench production. And, they didn't turn the ball over that much. So it's exactly, we would have had the same result Monday night had they played this game tonight. Probably against.
Yeah. We talked about this today with Jerry Reynolds, and Jerry actually puts Sabonis right up there with Weber and actually thinks he does a little bit more than Chris in certain areas. So, again, time will tell. Chris's big knock was Chris didn't play in the postseason the way he did in the regular season in a lot of the Kings series. We haven't seen Sabonis in a postseason for Sacramento, so we have to wait and see. Eduardo from Chile, how are you, buddy? Good to have you here on the stream. Yes, indeed. 134 to 113 as they're getting ready to wrap this up. So, we've got a center and a frontline player in Sabonis who is the real freaking deal. There's no doubt about it. He's the real freaking deal. So Kings are going to roll over the Lakers. They're in crunch time, mop-up time, not crunch time, mop-up time. 134 to 112. Yeah, they're crunch time. They're crunching the Lakers in mop-up time. That's what they're doing,
Yep.
So.
Yep. I don't think they're coming back, Donald.
No, I don't think they're coming back. I'll tell you this. I don't even think the Lakers – I think the Lakers are going to be so far back. They're done. I really believe the Lakers are done with their lineup. Without Anthony Davis, they're done. They really are. They're done.
They only really have 2 pieces at this point when you look at it. And I don't see – I mean, even if they did make a run, LeBron, he's getting older. It's a lot of mileage on his legs. And then AD, you can't trust that he's going to stay healthy if they even, get to that point where they're in contention.
All right. Grant Napier, Ryan in Sacktown. Great to see the Laker fans crying. I agree with you. It's always, they come in, they're obnoxious, they're arrogant. They've always been that way, both at home or on the road. And it's great to see the fans tonight say, hey, Merry Christmas on the way out the door. So good job right there, And
look at our purple beam too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. On the way out the door. So yeah, good job to respond after that performance on Monday. You play 82, you're going to have some bad games along the way, and 134 to 115 with 37 seconds left. Grant Napier, Ryan in Sacktown, as the Kings are going to go back to 4 games over 500. They should have no problem winning on Friday against Washington. Then next week, Denver twice, Utah. Competition gets a little bit more difficult. So we'll see. Again, listen, I don't want to discount this performance tonight. Okay. The Lakers are terrible. All right. And we have to acknowledge that this Lakers team's not going to win many games with this lineup. But with that said, the Kings did what they had to do. They just took care of business. And that second quarter set the tone for the rest of the game with a 41-point second quarter. This Lakers team, though, is terrible. I mean, the lineup that they put on the floor tonight, they're not going to win many games. That's why they're going to be out of it. And they won't be around. Come the All-Star break, they'll be too far back. Yeah,
and I think the Kings see him 2 more times, right, Grant?
Yep.
In this 3 weeks
without Anthony Davis.
On AD. So, And even with AD at this point, how much of a difference would that make? But the Kings handled their business. That's what they needed to do. On to Denver twice.
It would have made a big difference. It would have made a big difference. The Lakers were playing very well before Anthony Davis got hurt. It would have made a big difference. This game would have been very competitive, and it wouldn't have been 134 to 120. Now, I'm not saying the Kings wouldn't have won, but it would have made a big difference. I mean, the Lakers were starting to play very well. Anthony Davis was playing at a monster level, but again, he can't stay healthy. So we'll see. Right now, though, 134 to 120. All right. The Kings win it, and they now go to 17-13 on the season. All right. Good job right there. Great job right there. Washington up next. We'll get a lot of people joining the stream right now.
Yep.
If you're on with us, hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe if you have not done so. And we will be happy to take the messages right here on the stream. All right. Fox ejected with 3 minutes left. We'll find out after the game. Somebody wants to know if I have any good Arvydas Sabonis memories back in the day. Well, he was with Portland, and I had heard so much about Sabonis, but I had never really seen him play. And, I kept on hearing that he was the best passing big man ever. And then when you see it in person, you're like, wow, yeah, he really is. So what I remember was he was a magician passing the ball. And you're seeing a lot of it with his son in Domantas. He's very similar. Not as good as dad, but very similar in terms of he's got great vision on the floor.
Yeah, vision, passing, and footwork. Those three things you see from dad. Absolutely, Grant.
Thank you, Grant Rhino, for another post game. Like, subscribe, and share if you're on Facebook. Thank you, Dorian. Really appreciate that. Yeah, we appreciate your support. We are being seen simultaneously right here on YouTube, over on Twitter and Periscope, and Facebook Live. So we're all good. We're all good. Good stuff. Someone says $50 for the Kings to make it to the second round. You better be very careful in December. I don't bet, so I'm not going to take that bet, but I wouldn't take it anyway. I think you got to be very careful. If you're one injury away, all right, on your front line from Sabonis, to all of a sudden being, I don't want to say like the Lakers, because the Kings have a much better bench than the Lakers, but you see what happens when you have players go out of the lineup. Look at the Warriors without Curry. I mean, Sabonis has been as valuable this year to the Kings as Curry was to the Warriors. So again, you better hope that Domantas Sabonis does not get hurt.
Great point, Grant. And also, even if Domas doesn't get hurt at that point, it's been 16 years since the Kings have made the playoffs. So let's talk about the first round before we get to the second round.
Yeah, absolutely. Good memory on Sabonis. He was late in his career, and he was a bit slower and older, but still very good. You're absolutely right. If Sabonis is not an all-star this year, they ought to cancel the game. I mean, that shows that there is to it. Yep. And this is a very good point. A big physical team is still going to give the Kings problems. Well, we've seen that this year. Look at what Embiid did to this team, right? Look at what Joel Embiid did last week in Philadelphia.
It was a man against boys at that point. They were just going down low all game. Sabonis had 2 fouls within 5 minutes. So that's a very good point.
The Jailblazers, well, they had a lot of players that got in a lot of trouble on that team. Isaiah Ryder was one. They had others. And so they turned off the community of Portland, which was hard to do. One of the great basketball towns in America, and the fans they were done with them. And you started for the first time seeing fans not going to the game because of the character of players that they had on the floor. That was really, really bad. All right, what about this message? Do you agree with this from Sean? I do. I think he did come in and play very well.
Yeah, he brought a lot of energy. That's for sure. He's a young guy, so you got to give him some time, but he played great. I love that run in the second quarter.
All right, we are up to 144, and it's going up. We welcome you if you're just joining us here on the stream. Grant Napier, Ryan in Sacktown. If you are watching abroad, like Eduardo in Chile, let us know where you are watching the game from, and we welcome you, and we hope that you're on your way to a fabulous, fabulous holiday season. So good stuff right there. And again, you know what? You're right about Murray only having 3 rebounds, Eduardo, in 35 minutes. And I guess right now you can say, well, Sabonis is getting all the rebounds, but I think those numbers will go up. I think it's, fair enough to say that. Sabonis is a game changer. He's the most valuable player on the Kings, and you all better hope that he does not get injured. You better hope he does not get injured.
Yep. No Sabonis means no Kings at this point on the offensive end of the basketball because everything runs through him, Grant. Everything.
Oh, absolutely. Christopher says he is down in L.A. watching a post game with Robert Horry. So many bad memories. Well, yeah, there were a lot of bad memories. You're absolutely right. Murray, again, offensively was outstanding in this game tonight. Outstanding in this game tonight. I would like to see him rebound a little better, but he had 23 points. And here's the other deal. He was plus 24 tonight. He had the best plus minus of anyone on the floor. So I like to see that as well. And he also played 35 minutes. So that just goes to show you Mike Brown's doesn't have any problem playing him a lot of minutes if he's playing well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Mike Brown's going to play the hot hand, and he's looking at things that you and I are not looking at in terms of the stat line and what's going on on the floor. So it's good to see him play more. And yeah, Keegan, that's a heck of a plus minus for a rookie. Heck of a plus minus.
Christopher, I don't have a problem with what Fox did tonight. I mean, it's not unacceptable in a blowout game. It would have been unacceptable if the game was tied or a 2 or 3 point game. In a blowout game, he's trying to make a point. He's not in danger of getting too many technicals on the air. I didn't have a problem with it at all. I disagree with you. I wouldn't say it's unacceptable. I have no issue with it. I have no problems with it.
Yeah, I have no issues with it either. If it was a trend where we saw this from Fox all the time, then okay. But no, late game, blowout, no problem.
Do I think that the Kings need another good player to go along with Fox and Sabonis? Every team in the league wants another good player. So yeah,
Yep.
There's not a team that's going to go, no, we're okay. We don't need another good player. So they can always use a good player, and I guarantee you that they're looking for another good player. Absolutely. They're always going to try to make the team better if they can. 134-120. The Kings score 41 in the second and 40 in the third. So an 81-point, 24-minute stanza in the middle of the game paved the way to the victory, 134-120. And next up is Washington. Great to have you right here, Grant Napier, along with Ryan in Sacktown. And we are coming to you courtesy of New Works Plumbing of Sacramento. Locally owned for over 20 years, New Works has a fix for you. Just go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen. Again, they have 24/7 service. And again, New Works Plumbing, sackserviceplumbing.com for all of your plumbing needs and repairs. Grant Napier, Ryan in Sacktown, celebrating a 134-120 win over the LA Lakers. Glad to have you right here on YouTube. And Lydia wants to know, or excuse me, I got the wrong message here, jumping on a bit late. Well, David, you know what? Better late than never, my friend. Better late than never. Lydia wants to know about Mo Bamba. I haven't heard any rumors about Mo Bamba. I mean, nothing that would make me do a second take on it. So we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, no solid rumors connecting the Kings. The Magic, there have been some reports they're looking for a first-round pick for Mo Bamba, but that's about it.
Yeah. Again, you'll see. As of right now, nothing to report. All right. The Kings in this game, after shooting the ball very poorly from the foul line, 25 of 30 tonight for 83%. Oh, excuse me, that's not accurate. Let me see here. The Kings from the line tonight were 21 of 28, 75%. You'd like to see that in the high 70s or 80. I'm nitpicking a little bit, but it was better. 3-point shooting tonight, very good, 36%. And overall, their shooting was 50% from the floor. So, it all adds up. Very good. I got no issues. And here's the other thing, Ryan, only 12 turnovers in this game tonight.
Yeah, huge point, Grant. It was a clean basketball game on their part, and they were playing fast in the first couple quarters. They kept it, or second and third quarter, very fast in particular. So as long as they can keep that up. Hey, let's talk real quick about Kevin Huerter. I thought he had a really good bounce back game.
Yep. I thought so too. He was 9 of 14. He was 3 of 7. And here's the other issue. We were talking about his free throw shooting earlier with Jerry Reynolds. He made all 5 of his free throws in this game. So I'm with you on that.
He sure did. Yeah. 5 rebounds as well. So he's been a name everybody's been, or a lot of people have been saying, and I thought he bounced back excellent tonight.
A moment ago, we were asking about, Malik Monk last couple of games. What do we attribute that to? Nothing. It's the NBA. All the players that play in this league go through ups and downs. We've seen it. We will continue to see it. And I don't read anything into it at all. Nothing, nothing at all.
We've seen it on every roster throughout this league. Guys go through ups and downs, just like Grant said. So Malik will be fine. He's a shooter.
Wizards beat the Suns yesterday. Kings need to bring it Friday. Well, not only that, the Wizards play tomorrow night in Salt Lake City against the Jazz. It will be 3 games in 4 nights. And, I mean, they're a much better team than Washington, even if you're on equal rest. So not an issue. Portugal going crazy right now, David. Well, we love that. Good to see Portugal going crazy, So a lot of people want to talk about Cueto. Again, he was good. He had 10 points, 5 of 5, 3 rebounds, got double-digit minutes, played, I think, 11 minutes. So it's all good, It's all good.
And Coach Brown obviously sees something in him. He's getting some more push, some more minutes. Metu, I believe, the second game in a row that hasn't got significant minutes like he usually does. So these are good results. We'll see if that can stay up because that could be that missing piece on the boards that we need.
We're happy that we're getting more people listening and watching than 1140, and I don't know why anybody would be surprised by that. No disrespect, but are you going to listen to a guy that did the games for 32 years and a great fan like Ryan with his knowledge, or are you going to listen to that station? I mean, you make the decision. So, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to blow them out of the water as the season comes along, and when and if the Kings get to the playoffs, I'm going to have so much coverage with Ryan here on YouTube that, everyone's going to be listening to this show. And I really mean that. We're going to have 4 digits watching, not 3 digits. So I'm very excited for that because I believe that's going to happen. But thank you very much. Oh, Brisbane, Australia. What's up, mate?
Hey.
How are you, mate? Good to have you with us, mate.
How's the Vegemite, mate? You ever tried that, Grant?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Philip. Appreciate that. I loved our fans in Australia. I had a couple of fans visit from Australia. Jet came and visited with his son, and we just had the best time. And it was so great to have him. Made the trip all the way from Australia. And he's a big, big Kings fan. And I was so happy to have him here, and it was really great. And there have been some other fans from Australia too. And I also had Andrew Bogan on my podcast a little less than a year ago, and talking to him about Australia and basketball and the rich tradition down there. So it's all good, all good. And by the way, I really do appreciate your support. And thank you very much, John, for that. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Greatly
John.
appreciate that. And I'm going to blow him out of the water when I win my lawsuit too. That's in federal court. So thank you very much. Hey, my dream is to see Grant light the beam. Hold on. Hold on a little bit. Hold on a little bit.
Well, we do know it's going to take more than a King's dog and a beer to get Grant to do that.
134 to 120. The Kings beat the Lakers. Yeah, maybe I can have Matt Barnes and Chris Webber on my side, and they can help me light it. How would that be?
Oh, that would be great, Grant.
Yeah.
Are they bringing the drinks?
I'm not going to make the comment that I was just going to make. All right. Someone wants to know if I think Richaun Holmes will be on the team at the deadline. I would say no, because I think he could help out another team, and he's obviously not part of what's going on in Sacramento right now. So I would say no, he will not.
Do you think they're going to give him some more minutes, Grant, leading up to the deadline to kind of showcase him?
Great question. Well, let's wait till we get to January, Okay. And again, we're not that far away from January, but let's just wait and see. It's a very good question. Very good question. Somebody said, Grant, fellow Sacramento Kings fan who was also a Giants fan, miss your commentary. Thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate that. And by the way, not to get carried away, congratulations to your quarterback, Geno Smith, on making the Pro Bowl roster. I think that's fabulous. I think it's one of the great stories in all the sports this year. So good job there.
Thanks, Grant. Yeah, really, really cool story. Cool line at the beginning of the season, too. They wrote me off, and I didn't write back. So good for him. Yeah.
Hey, John, thank you for your support. We appreciate that. We love doing this show. We love all the support. We're now up over 200. Do me a favor while you're joining us, like the broadcast here. And if you have not yet subscribed, please just take a second, hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. All right. It would mean a lot. So somebody says we should do a 49ers post-game show too. Man, you know what? I'll tell you, in the playoffs, maybe we will. Who knows?
Think about that. Think about that. That might be up. That might be up C-Dog's alley, though.
Well, C-Dog can join us.
There you go. C-Dog. Think about it.
Yeah, we need C-Dog to have a little bit he has to have a Red Bull or two, or 2 or 3 cups of coffee before he comes on, though. I need C-Dog's energy to go up a little bit. C-Dog, I need a little bit more energy, a little bit more power. Get a little pumped up when you call the show, C-Dog. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get pumped up. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Raise it. Let's go. All right. Sorry.
Got the sweat right there. Go ahead. Get that. Yeah, there we go.
So you know what? Because I'm pumped up. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Somebody wants to know who my second team is in the NBA. Well, I grew up loving the Knicks, but when I got the Kings job, it was really weird. The greatest feeling was going into Madison Square Garden and beating the Knicks. And that was my childhood team. And I can't really even put into words what that was like. So I don't have a second favorite team. I really don't. I really don't. Need a killer rant, Grant. Well, I just gave kind of a rant to Connor to get a little more energy because he's got phenomenal knowledge, So
Amazing.
absolutely. Love the G-Man. Happy holidays to Gary Gerald. He's the freaking best. What a class act he is. So good job. He is great. 134 to 120. Sacramento rolls over the LA Lakers. Good stuff right there. Look forward to hearing the Correa contract rant. I can't believe the Mets overpaid. I did a rant on that today. Go to YouTube right here when we're done, or on your podcast platform. I did my rant on that today. All right, I want to tell you that it is great to have Fosters and Paws as part of what we do right here on YouTube. Just go to their website. They do fabulous things. They really do. And I've spent some time looking at their website. I've talked to people that are very into the rescue of dogs in shelters like they are. I mean, they're a group of passionate animal advocates, and basically they work hard to save lives. And they do primarily focus on vulnerable dogs in shelters. And here's something else I love. They believe that teaching children at a young age how to treat animals with respect will have lifelong benefits. Now, they're looking for adopters, fosters. They really could use your assistance in looking for the things that make them as successful as they are. Just go to fostersandpaws.org/adopt. Grant and Orion on a big time 134 to 120 win over the LA Lakers. All right. 134 to 120. Good stuff right there. And yeah, Eduardo getting a lot of love. I love the fact that Eduardo's getting a lot of love on the stream. We love Eduardo, man. We love the guy. He's great. He's made 2 trips out to Sacramento. I mean, the guy's amazing, all the way from Chile.
Grant, how many people have you hosted from other countries? Because it seems like every country that comes up, you've had somebody here.
Oh, well, Danny in England had the greatest story in the history of fans. Not only did Danny come over, and I had never met him before in Toronto, but I surprised him with a press credential. Took him on the floor, had his picture taken with almost all the players, had him go to the back of the locker room before the game and meet Keith Smart, the then coach. And Keith said, hey, if we win, I want you to come into the locker room and talk to the team. They need to realize that they're not only playing for the fans in Sacramento, but there are fans all over the world that watch them play. So the Kings beat Toronto, and I'm on the post game, and I'm looking, and I see Danny sitting on the court on a bench. And I grab my phone and I send him a text, get back to the locker room. So I get off the air and I run back to the locker room, and I run into Danny in the hallway. I go, did you go into the locker room? He goes, oh my God, it was unbelievable. Keith grabbed me and took me in there, and I talked to the players and told them how I'd come over here and it was a dream to see the Kings play and thank them. And he got pictures with all the players in the locker room. And then he came to Detroit when Buddy Hield hit the walk-off 3-pointer, and he was at that game in Detroit.
Oh, wow.
So, listen, I was so happy for Danny. I mean, think about that fan experience. He's just coming over from London, from south of London in England, to watch the game, and I end up getting him on the court, and he ends up in the locker room talking to the team after the win. Does it get any better than that?
No, I can't imagine that. I mean, even just living here in Sacramento as a lifelong Kings fan, right? I mean, just coming from overseas to see a game in person, let alone having those surprises. Really cool, Grant.
So I hosted the guys from France right before the pandemic. They, thank goodness, they had been at the game before the New Orleans game, where that was when the season was postponed. And it was great. And on the way to the game, I stopped at their Airbnb and we took pictures. And I believe I had their tickets for them. So I gave them the tickets and gave them what they needed. I had some passes to get into the lounge. Then I had Jet from Australia. I've had from Japan, had a guy and his, I want to say, girlfriend come over from Japan and hosted them. There were a couple of other people from overseas. Oh, from the Netherlands. I love it. I love when, listen, I'm a sports fan. Okay. There's nothing that I appreciate more than fans who say, okay, I'm taking my money, I'm saving my money, and I'm going to make a trip to go see the Kings play in Sacramento. And then I ask why they started following the Kings. And they all have different reasons. But just think about that. They're making an effort to come, in many instances, halfway around the world. And by the way, the Kings were terrible when I'm hosting all these people. Okay? And that stuff is great. Yeah, there is Perez from the Bahamas. And listen, Perez is great. I met him. He came out from the Bahamas. And I still stay in touch with Perez. via social media. So, you know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for. Look at that, Ryan in Sacktown. They love you, buddy. They absolutely love you here.
Love you guys too.
Absolutely. But anyway, thank you for saying how much you love the story. The bottom line is, I love seeing fans happy because I'm a fan. Okay. And I got more joy out of seeing Danny experience that than I had announcing the win in Toronto, if that makes sense. For me to see a fan have that type of experience, and there was a player on the Kings. What was his? Gosh, forgive me at the moment, but James Johnson, I believe. Anyway, he wore glasses, and he goes, "Hey, I need to tell you a quick story." They're on the court warming up. He goes, "Can I please take a picture? My son wears glasses, and he's got a real issue that he has to wear glasses. And I think if he sees you and me take a picture together, it would really make him so happy." And he goes, "Absolutely, would love to." So we took a picture with his glasses, and his son was so happy to see his dad with a player in the NBA that wears glasses just like he does.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. So, you just don't realize the impact that teams can have on fans. Listen, not to brag, but I probably traveled in my life to go see the New York Giants. Figure it's 5,000 miles round trip from the West Coast to New York. I mean, I don't know, probably 200,000 miles just going back and forth to see the Giants play when I lived, maybe even more. I just love the fact that fans really, and I love traveling on Sundays through airports and see all the people with their jerseys on who are in the midst of changing planes coming from. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. I love that stuff.
It's fun when you're on a plane coming home from an away game and everybody's on the same bay with the team. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It is absolutely the best. Good stuff here on the stream. Yeah, they did get robbed in the Western Conference Finals. We all know that. But, that was 20 years ago. It's time to move on. It is time to move on. Somebody wants to know who Sabonis is a true all-star. No question. Who's my favorite Kings player? It's Vlade. But I have several on my list. Spud Webb's on there. Wayman Tisdale's on there. Scott Pollard's on there. I mean, Reggie Theus is on there. Otis Thorpe. I mean, there are so many guys that I could put on that list. It's not fair to just name one, but Vlade would be number one on my list. There's no question about that. All right, 134 to 120. The Kings are 17-13, and now Washington, who is going to be playing the third game in 4 nights, come in. So should be an opportunity to elevate to a season high 5 games over 500. Enjoy Christmas and get ready for home and home with Denver.
Absolutely. And like we said, every game matters with the Western Conference these days. So, hopefully they can bolster that record and head into Denver, and Utah, which is at home, and finish this thing out strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we really appreciate everybody taking the time to join us on the stream. Make sure to go to my website, if you don't like that.com. Most of my work is on there. Really appreciate that. Again, if you're joining us a little bit late, just hit the like button and also subscribe if you have not done so. And this is a very interesting question. Can you say anything about your lawsuit? It was so wrong. What happened to you? Yeah, I can. It's currently in federal court, and it is ongoing. And as soon as there are any updates that are pertinent, good thing I don't have to talk for a living, pertinent, I will be happy to come on and let you know. So thank you for asking. Otis Thorpe was great. He's one of my favorite Kings players of all time. Not only a great player, but a great, great person. No, Denver is the next 2 games after Washington on Friday. All right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Good stuff, Rhino.
Absolutely. Fun night, fun win. Got 3 more at home. Let's do it, Grant.
Yeah. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Rhino, we'll talk to you on Friday with Sean Salisbury, my friend.
Sounds good. All right, everybody have a great night.
All right. I'm not done yet because I want to tell you about a special show that I'm going to have tomorrow. A guy that I have had on the radio in Sacramento very often. He was a PGA caddy for many years, most recently with Matt Kuchar. And then 2 years ago, he got hired by NBC Sports and the Golf Channel to be an on-course reporter. His name is John Wood. John's stories are phenomenal. He's from Sacramento. He's going to be on with me right here tomorrow on YouTube at 3 o'clock. All right. So a special show tomorrow right here on YouTube, okay, with John Wood. And I am really, really excited about that. I am very excited. I have the utmost respect for John. He does a phenomenal job. He's caddied in the Ryder Cup. He's caddied in all 4 majors. He's caddied in the he's done it all. The guy's been everywhere. He's been on every course in the world. I mean, he's walked up the 18th at St. Andrews. He absolutely is phenomenal. And I believe that he has elevated himself to one of the best in the business. All lives matter, every single one. Eduardo, they sure do. They sure do. You know? Hey, Lydia, happy holidays to you too. And I really appreciate your support, Lydia. Thank you very much. And for those of you that will not be able to join me either tomorrow or Friday, I want to wish you a very happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and I greatly appreciate your support. All right. It's fabulous to be able to do these shows and get so many people watching, and it means the world to me. Be with me tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific, for some great stories. If you like great stories, you're going to want to join me tomorrow right here on If You Don't Like That with Grant Napier. Kings win 134-120. And if you don't like that, you don't like Kings basketball. Oh, boy.